Here we go. I got my ticket out of here in just a few hours. This hell that I've been trapped in, admittedly of my own making, will be over. I can't wait. After getting on the Afton Express, we left the Charlottesville Downtown Transit Station and began making our way into Charlottesville traffic towards the Amtrak station. In a few minutes, I would have gone full circle. After we finally got moving again, as we passed the Amtrak station and slowly made our way up the hill. It was very slow. It was almost painfully slow. We passed the bus that I had come into Charlottesville on and went over the bridge that had sheltered me from the rain while I was waiting for the Greyhound. The Charlottesville traffic continued to be quite heavy, and the rain definitely wasn't helping matters. Since there wasn't much to see, I decided to take a look at the charging situation. The charger was on the ceiling, which was annoyingly high and made charging somewhat difficult, but it was providing power, so I was glad for that. Once we reached UVA, we passed the stop closest to the Piedmont Express stop. If the bus had been late, I could have run over here and caught the Afton Express, so I was quite confident that I was going to make that connection. Fortunately, I had time to go into Charlottesville and get lunch before catching the Afton Express. Once we got on 64, the weather briefly seemed to be improving. It was kind of strange to think of how this part of 64 is actually kind of scenic in a weird way. As we passed through Albemarle County, traffic was heavy but moving. I was struck by the fact that the Afton Express had more people on it than the Piedmont Express did. It was very strange to think of a local bus carrying more people than an intercity bus. It does give me concern about the future of the Piedmont Express, but I think improvements to the stops, or at least improved transit access to the stops, could fix this problem and turn the Piedmont Express into a real hit. As we got further up Afton Mountain, the notorious Afton Mountain fog rolled in. It was quite intense. Traffic was still moving, but it was not making our driver's life any easier. It should be mentioned here that even if your transit agency is a joke like Shore Transit, the problems are rarely your driver's fault. Most drivers of all of our transit vehicles do the best they can with what they have. Never take out the failures of an agency on its drivers. Recording with the tablet plugged into the awkward power source on the ceiling was quite difficult. As the fog really started to get intense, you could barely see anything. Traffic was still moving, though, which was good to see, and we would soon be heading down Afton Mountain. I don't know why this pickup truck kept going next to us. Still not as bad as the guy who nearly hit the Piedmont Express on the way down. It's despite the fog, our driver handled the situation very well. Unfortunately, the fog meant there wasn't much to see. This part of 64 is actually surprisingly scenic. But soon I'd be getting off. Well, there goes the Afton Express on off to Stanton. I've never actually been on that part of it. Someday I gotta do that. I gotta take it the full way to Stanton. That'll be fun. Anyway, so now to get local transit from here, it's a little annoying, but you gotta walk over to Target. You know, I've recorded this in previous videos and my tablet's almost dead, so yeah. Okay. Well, it is really amazing what I have pulled off, though. How far I have traveled using exclusively transit. No card, not using no credit card, no cellular data, no. Yep. And now I'm right around the corner. I just need to navigate this little bit of classic American sprawl, and I will be out of here. So let's go finish this mission. It had its ups and its downs. I made it to the stop for the Stewart's Draft Link. Just one quick ride. I'm just one ride away. Kind of in a bit of a dilemma here, though, if I should get all my winter gear back on. Because I know I'm going to have to walk home, but if I'm in the middle of putting it on, I've got a huge mess over here. And the bus shows up, that's going to be a problem. Of course, the longer I wait, the more likely it is the bus will show up. If the schedule hasn't changed, what time is it? It is 3:59. So if the schedule hasn't changed, I think we have like 20 minutes till the bus gets here. But I wish I had a way to confirm that, but I don't, so. Alright. Well, I know it's going to have to be done. Maybe I can do it without making a giant mess. I made my connection to the Stewart's Draft Link for the short ride over to Walmart. The relentless issues with copyright music on this leg of the trip continued as we left the Target parking lot and began making our way onto 340. I was really glad to catch this bus because it would mean that I would not have to walk over the Death Bridge. Leaving and making the turn onto 340 was quite difficult, as it involved a very long light. The rain was still coming down, though nowhere near as intense as it had been when I was on the Afton Express. I passed by some construction, some looks like apartments being built, and probably a luxury apartments, so it's not going to help much with housing crisis, and I highly doubt that it will be transit oriented, given that these buses only come once an hour. But I got incredibly lucky with the light and made it onto 340 fairly quickly. Making a second light really helped me make up for lost time. And now there was the death bridge was right around the corner. As soon as we picked our way through this intense rush hour traffic, passing over, this is the way you're supposed to cross the death bridge. It felt incredibly good to be on the bus during that leg. After about a 10-minute wait, I made my connection to the Waynesboro Circulator. At first I was a little bit confused by the strange route around Walmart, but it looks like they came up with a way that was slightly more efficient, or so they thought anyway. These lights to get back onto 340 took forever. A little bit of transit signal priority would be helpful here, as we made it back to, we finally started moving, but we were on the left side of the road, meaning that we were not going to go back to Target where I had just come from, as this bus frequently does. Unfortunately, we'd wait at another light that would take an absolute eternity, as the 250, we spotted the 250 connector coming in from Stanton. There really wasn't that much to see here as the 250 connector passed by. This is a classic example of why it's the last bus of this extraordinary three-state odyssey. I'll count how many transit agencies I utilized when I get home. Probably tomorrow. I'm exhausted. Now I just have about a 700-meter walk home. And I have done it. Oh, finally home. Smilodon, where are you hiding? I know you're here. You darn right I'm here. Yeah. We still didn't make it to the Smithsonian. Oh, you always find something to complain about. Come on. That wasn't the point of this. You started all this foolishness. Remember, Smilodon? Over this silly thing. Well, what do you think, Smilodon? I just spent 5 days traveling with next to nothing, relying on written and printed directions, and which were not always right, by the way. Yeah, you missed that. Yeah, you tried to look for, Dum-Dum here tried to look for a phony connection across the Chesapeake Bay Bridge. Oh, give me a break, Smilodon. That was not on me. That was on Queen Anne County Transit for not communicating with Google Maps. Their own doggone county workers told me so. And besides, I planned for the possibility that connection, that something would go wrong on that. But what do you think, Smilodon? After I've gone through this hell, do you think I've earned this stupid pin or what? Well, not if you're going to go around calling it stupid. Okay, fine, you're right. You're right. It's important. You're right about that. It is important. What do you think, Smilodon? Oh, go. You can't call me a total fraud, because I'm helping those. I've done something to help those who need to escape do so. You know what? At this point, I don't care what the hell you say, Smilodon. I'm opening the damn thing. And you're not going to stop me. You know what? I'm going to give you this one. It's done. It's out. Yeah, go ahead and pin it. You've earned it. Well, actually, there's one last thing you need to do. Yeah, what's that, Smilodon? You need to show your damn face, so you're not a freaking coward. You know what? This thing, you know what? I'll do that. All right. Well, what do you think, Smilodon? Have I earned my... I've earned my ally pin. I've done something to actually help these people. Well, you still haven't posted the video to YouTube. Yeah. Gotta do some editing. It's gonna take a couple of days. Get over it, Smilodon. But you know what? I guess you're not a total fraud. Just a half fraud. Oh, give it up, Smilodon. Give it up, Smilodon. I went through hell for this. I'm putting the damn pin on whether you like it or not. For that... There. It's done. You know, come to think of it, yeah, I guess you did something. So, I guess you did something real. So, you're not a total fraud. Oh, give it up, Smilodon. For that matter, Smilodon, wait a second. What the hell have you done for them? Well, I made you do something for them. Oh, really, Smilodon? Really? Come on. Well, that might be something. It's lazy as hell, but I guess it's still something. So, I'm too tired to argue with you. I need to get some sleep. This is ridiculous. And we're done here. Yeah, don't ever call. Yeah. So you can call me a lot of things, but not when it comes to this, I am no longer a total fraud. And you can't call me a coward either, because you can see me right here. And that is it for this one. I'll be back in a day or two. I'll collect my thoughts, make a tier list of the various transit agencies I rode, and and that's going to do it for this one. The Martian is taking off.